Hello, I'm Tony Morbin, Editor-in-Chief for SC Media UK. Today I'm joined by Daniel Solis, CEO and founder at BlueLiv, a Barcelona-based threat intelligence company, along with Patryk, Pilat. They're going to explain about the company, where it comes from, and also about some recent research they've just done on credential theft. So first of all, Daniel, if you could explain what's the background to the company, where did it come from, and what does it do?
Okay, thanks for your time. So let me explain about the story about the company. So we started doing ethical hacking at the beginning while we were getting several MVPs. So we come to what nowadays we call the threat intelligence, and we realized that the security vendors were not enough to stop the new emerging cyber threats. So what will happen? We saw that the bad guys were jumping over these pitfalls or the security measures. So we decided to be the kind of eyesight of the companies outside of the internet by looking outside the networks, because everyone was creating some kind of castle, let's say, or a perimeter, but no one has the idea of being proactive and looking outside these companies. So for this reason, we created the platform that we have developed nowadays. In addition to that, I think that we need to think that cybercrime is an industry where the bad guys are collaborating between them. So they are investing in technology, they are hiring talent, they are sharing revenue sharing models. So that's very important. So on the same way, the industry, the private sector, we need to also with the government, or governments around the planet, we need to try to collaborate each other, because no one has the 100% of the information outside to fight the bad guys. So we need to establish some kind of relationships to try to jump over these pitfalls, because it's the only way to stop them.
This was one of the main ideas when the company was founded back in the day. But it developed into something different. These days, when you look at BlueLiv, it just comes down to pretty much one thing, and this is hunting threat actors or looking for threat actors. And all the tools that we have, all the technologies that we have, all our teams that we have, they just do this one thing. They look for threat actors and they try to detect them to help our customers. That's at the core of BlueLiv.
So can you tell us what these tools are? What is the company's offering? What are your solutions?
Yeah. We are a cloud-based platform. We are very powerful, offering the capacity of gathering information from many places, open sources, also the web, and the web, as you know, Google is not able to go inside of the dark web. That's important because the bad guys are moving there. Also, we are very good enriching indicators of compromise, and we have created a very big ecosystem that allows us to offer the fresher data to our clients and also to our partners. So I think that one of the best things that we are doing now is the capacity of gathering minimum of information, of data, we have the capacity of processing it, and we have the capacity of delivering information, because if you don't have the skills to analyze this data, you are going to deliver noise, not information. So we are providing our clients a targeted and very specific information to react facing the threats, and we are helping to solve them. That's important also.
If you look back like 10, 15 years, most of the companies, they were just pretty much focused on their internal network, on everything that's happening on-prem, right? But unfortunately, the world is quite big, and what's happening on-prem is very, very small, right? So when BlueLiv came in, we said, look, why don't we give our customers visibility of all the rest, right? So the whole internet, and this is what we do today. We scan the deep web, dark web, and pretty much everything in between for data that was stolen from our customers. When our customers are being threatened, for instance, targeted by threat actors, this is what we are looking for, and this is what we are finding with our platform.
In addition, let me say that we have a very big capability for analyzing millions of malware samples. We have a powerful sandbox that helps to us, or helps to our clients or to our partners to find out what's going on with the malware.
Pretty much in real time.
Mm-hmm. And you've gone from penetration testing to threat intelligence. You've gone from Spain to 25 countries globally. What's next for the company?
Okay. We are very excited of being here. As you know, we want to be very with a big and strong presence here in the UK. In fact, we have several people working for us here, and we have invested a lot of things. We have several clients, because we really think that the UK is the international hub for cybersecurity and also for technology. So for this reason, we have created a very aggressive go-to-market strategy to help to our channel to sell more. As you know, our channel is MCPs and bars, and we are delivering a modular approach, what is very easy to manage, and also we are helping our partners to put service on top.
So what it comes down to again is threat actors, right? So to answer your question maybe a little bit more vague than Dani did, whatever it takes. Like, what is the next step? It depends on the threat actors. The threat actors, they put something in place, we will follow that up and we will try to be smarter than them. So, at the moment we're developing some very interesting things in regards to machine learning, very interesting next-gen stuff, because this is always where the threat landscape is developing to. At one point you will see threat actors running machine learning against consumers. It's going to be a nightmare, so we have to keep up with that. So to answer your question, it depends where it develops to. Our platform is a tool for us. We are curious for the threat actors.
Okay. We're going to get on to the research in the report, but first of all, just in general terms, why do you need threat intelligence? What are the companies actually going to do with it?
Okay, from my point of view, I think that companies without threat intelligence, they are blind. We are kind of the eyesight of the companies on the internet, and many of them, they don't know if they have been hacked. So we help them to find out that, and also they need the threat intelligence to be proactive, to complement or to ingest their current security solutions with IOCs or with data that can prevent or stop these new major cyber threats. That's very important from my point of view.
Yeah. So for example, if let's say you have an admin working for a bigger company, right, and somehow one day the credentials, the login credentials for the internal systems get stolen, right? It's just one credential is enough to take down a whole company. So this is the situation we are in. We're giving our customers visibility. If that happened, we can get this data back essentially for our customers, and this is very valuable for them.
I mean, you just carried out a big report on credential theft. Could you summarise the main findings of the report?
Yes, from our point of view is that the bad guys are very well organized. They are cyber industry. So they are very well coordinated. They have the bad guys who are creating the software or the malware, the other ones who are the channel who are delivering the malware, and there is some clients that buy this malware to try to use it later. So I think that on that way we need to be aware about what's going on outside. And from my point of view, I think it's very important to reading out what is the what is the fresher information to be achieved or to be gathered, because the bad guys are also infecting a lot of companies to get credentials because they want the almost real-time data. That means that credentials that could come from leaks or whatever are not as good as the stolen by in real-time by malware, so that's very important.
Yeah, just to add something to the report, we have seen something very interesting happening over the last couple of months since we created the last snapshot. And it's that at the moment, threat actors are kind of targeting more Europe rather than the US. And we had a little bit of a look into that, why this might be happening, and found out that they also target Russia, which is very interesting. After analyzing this whole situation, it seems that the American marketplace in regards to credit cards and social security number is very different to what you see in Europe, right? In Europe, we have very strong credit cards in place with security chip. Social security numbers are in Europe not very important, right? You cannot do much damage with it. But still, you have this big juicy cake for threat actors to attack, right? So this is why they kind of switched to credentials rather than the classical social security stuff together with credit cards as we see in the US. And at the end of the day, like if you have a login credentials, as I said a moment ago, you can take a whole company down.
And when we were chatting earlier, you were saying that Russia's actually being used as a testing ground.
Exactly that. So they developed some pieces of new malware, some pieces of new software, dropped this on Russia, used it as a POC. It worked, and now POC, proof of concept, is done, and now they're rolling out these tools onto the European market. One of the reasons is development of new tools. The European market was always considered rather safe and secure and untapped by threat actors, but it's a way too big cake to let it slip. So they upped the game, they developed new tools. Also in Europe you have things like gambling, for example, which is very interesting for these guys. You have systems which are not maybe credit card driven, but not social security driven, but a little bit different in its making. So credentials are more important in Europe than pretty much in the rest of the world, because we just log into all kinds of systems every day all over the place. And this is essentially what we have seen. We have seen this crazy rise in credentials because people or threat actors see that the market is just very juicy for them. These guys, they come together on a daily basis to achieve some kind of goal, mostly to earn lots of money, right? But they're doing this for many, many years. They know that one team is not big enough to achieve something, the big heist, so to say. So they collaborate, they share information, and then they just go for the target. So this is the least that we should also be doing in the threat intelligence industry. Like we need to share data between each other to just get the bigger picture. It's not enough if everybody just has one piece of the puzzle, right? We need every single piece of the puzzle put together, and then we have the whole picture. And this is kind of the approach that we have right now with BlueLiv and with potential partners, with people that we would like to work together. So, official agencies, private sector, you name it. Or only together we stand a chance.
And being based in mainland Europe yourself, does that make a difference?
Yes, absolutely. Us being a European company based in Barcelona, we get lots of feedback from our customers who are just next door, right? So, they give us a call, they write us an email, look guys, we have this and this problem, can you look into that? So our analysts, our teams start looking into that. So it's very easy for us to understand threat actors, how they target our customers and what our customers can do against this then. But definitely, the pain points in Europe are a little bit different than in the rest of the world, and this is what we understand very well.
The other thing I'm quite interested in the report, you're also looking at the extent of the problem and the different approaches that are being used, and how they're changing from whether it's Pony or whether it's Locky or what's being used. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, that's an important question because we have seen that the stealers are still in place. I mean that in spite of having many of them, we can highlight 3 of them: Pony, basically, Keybase, and also Lockybot, also known as Lockybot. So we have seen that Locky has increased in almost 300% because we really know that all the antivirus vendors and also the security vendors pretty knows Pony, and they are giving solutions to stop it, but they don't have the same luck with Locky. Also, Locky is pretty nice regarding the technology because he's split it in several, let's say, software pieces. So you can contract, you are a bad guy, you can contract only what you want to pay for it, and you can deliver. So you have the stealer, you have the downloader, and so on. That Locky code has been leaked in the dark web. So the problem is that the bad guys are using this source code to promote it. So for this reason, we have seen this increasing. It's important.
Another reason for the increase is obviously that these guys don't sleep, threat actors don't sleep. They develop their tools. They invest lots of money to keep them updated, to circumvent antivirus, this kind of things, right? It's something that is just constantly being updated. It's something that is just happening all the time. Like if you're a threat actor, you want to earn as much money as possible, so you reinvest. You're looking more at software as a service from the underground. You even get tech support, right? You sign a contract with these guys and they give you tech support. They give you guarantees that the software will work. It's a huge multi-billion-dollar industry, right? So this is why we are seeing Europe now being targeted. They just want a piece of the cake. It's very simple.
So what does that mean for organisations here? We're seeing this increased attacks on credential theft. What can we be doing about it? What should we be doing about it to either prevent it or at least mitigate it?
First of all, let me explain to you that once someone has got access to your organization by using a credential theft, they can expand their tentacles like an octopus. So there is a huge market behind these guys who are stealing credentials because they sell these credentials in several ways, as you can see in our report. I don't know, to perform fraud, to perform extortion, or to launch any kind of ransomware attack, and so on. From my point of view, I think that to try to jump over these pitfalls, we need to deliver. We need to be very concerned about trying to create some kind of cyber hygiene process. We need to patch our system. We need to help our users to use strong passwords. If you can use a second authentication factor, you need to put it in place. That's important. You need to perform some ethical red team pen tests to look for new vulnerabilities. And also, as you can guess, you need to use threat intelligence to look what is going outside of your company. So by creating this kind of security program from the CISO, you can deliver a lot of value till the analyst by providing IOCs. So that's important on the way.
But number one, out of my perspective, is giving first people visibility, like what's happening, because pretty much everybody right now is just flying blind. They just look at what's happening inside. They have no clue that their cards are being traded on the darknet, that their credentials are being traded on some kind of a closed underground forum. They simply don't know.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you very much, Patryk. And thank you all for joining us. And if you want to get a copy of the report, The Credential Theft Ecosystem, go to the URL on the screen now.